A simple ticket. We fold it, music, we spend it, we keep it in the wallet, but we rarely stop to think about it. However, that rectangular piece of paper has the power to buy food, pay for a house, or move entire markets. How can something so fragile have so much value? Every day, millions of people use money without knowing what it is made of, how it is produced, or why we simply do not print more to end poverty. What's behind each bill? How is a plant transformed into a symbol of global wealth? And why is money not really just paper?
From the sugarcane fields to the final packaged product, you'll discover the complete journey of one of the world's most essential ingredients. This is mass production. This is industrial sugar. Every year, the world produces more than 180 million tons of sugar, a figure that seems almost impossible until you witness the immense scale and incredible speed of the factories that make it happen. Inside these industrial plants, hundreds of tons of sugarcane can be processed every hour. Music, a single factory can transform thousands of tons of harvested cane each day into refined sugar, ready for consumers around the world. Massive crushing mills, evaporators, and centrifuges operate around the clock, 24 hours a day, on highly automated production lines engineered for maximum efficiency. But this is about more than sheer volume. Large-scale production makes it possible for sugar to reach supermarkets, food manufacturers, and households across the globe at an affordable price. This extraordinary scale has made sugar one of the most widely used ingredients in the modern human diet. From industrially baked biscuits to energy drinks, its presence is almost universal, and it all begins inside a factory that never sleeps. Music. The process begins in the fields. Every year, as the harvesting season arrives, vast sugarcane plantations spring into action. This is where efficiency becomes absolutely critical. A slow harvest would reduce the sugar content of the crop and disrupt the entire production chain. Today, most of the world's leading sugar producers rely on high-precision automated harvesters. These powerful machines are designed to cut the cane stalks just above the root without damaging it, allowing the plant to regrow naturally for the next harvesting season. If you're creating a documentary voiceover, I can also make it sound more cinematic and engaging for narration. As it moves along the rows, the harvester cuts, cleans, and chops the sugar cane in a matter of seconds. A system of rotating blades strips away the leaves and returns them to the field, where they form a natural protective layer over the soil. At the same time, the sucrose-rich stalks are cut into small sections and collected in a rear storage compartment. A single machine can harvest between 80 and 120 tons of sugar cane per hour, the equivalent of the work of dozens of farm workers. As well as reducing labor costs, this mechanized process ensures a constant flow of freshly cut cane to the factories. In some countries, controlled burning of sugar cane fields is still practiced before harvesting to remove dry leaves and insects, making manual harvesting easier. However, this method is gradually being replaced by green mechanized harvesting, which is cleaner and more environmentally friendly. Everything. From the moment the sugar cane is cut, the clock starts ticking. The faster it reaches the factory, the greater the sugar yield. In modern sugar production, efficiency begins with the very first cut. Once the sugar cane has been cut, time is of the essence. To prevent it from losing moisture and reducing its sucrose content, it must be transported to the factory as quickly as possible. On large plantations, heavy-duty trucks wait at the edge of the fields while the harvesters transfer the freshly cut cane directly into them. In some regions, specialized railway systems are even used to transport the cane from the fields to the sugar mills. The goal is to maintain a fast and continuous flow of raw material. When the sugar cane arrives at the factory, tons of it are unloaded every minute onto enormous receiving platforms that automatically feed the production line. Before processing begins, samples are taken from each batch and analyzed in the laboratory to measure their sugar content. These results not only help calculate production efficiency, but also determine how farmers are paid based on the quality of their harvest. Sugar cane cannot wait. From the field to the factory, music every stage is designed to keep the process continuous, precise, and highly efficient. It is the first step in a production chain that never stops. Before the extraction process begins, the sugar cane must be thoroughly washed. On arrival at the factory, It is sprayed with high-pressure jets of water to remove soil, stones, dust, and plant debris. This cleaning process not only protects the machinery but also ensures that the extracted juice is as pure as possible from the very beginning. Once cleaned, the cane passes through a series of rotating blades that chop it into small pieces. These pieces are then fed into giant mills equipped with heavy rollers that crush the cane again and again. Each pass releases more of the thick, sweet juice, rich in sucrose, which is channeled into processing tanks. The bagasse, the fibrous residue left after extraction, is not wasted. Later in the production process it will be reused, but for now it is carefully separated from the juice. This crushing stage is critical. If it is carried out poorly, a significant amount of sugar is lost. But when performed with precision, it maximizes extraction efficiency and makes the most of every ton of raw material. This is where the sugar quite literally begins to flow. If you're enjoying this journey through the world of sugar, now is the perfect time to support us. Give this video a thumbs up if you've learned something new, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss more fascinating content about how the products we use every day are made. Your support helps us continue creating educational, visually engaging, and entertaining videos like this one. Now let's continue with the process. With the juice extracted, a critical stage begins: purification and concentration. The freshly pressed liquid contains not only sugar but also impurities such as plant material, soil, and organic particles. To remove them, lime is added, an alkaline substance that causes the impurities to coagulate. The mixture is then heated and allowed to settle in large tanks, where the solid particles separate from the liquid. The resulting juice, now much clearer and cleaner, moves on to the evaporators. At this stage, water is removed using a multiple effect evaporation system. Through the application of heat and reduced pressure, the juice is concentrated until it becomes a thick, golden syrup saturated with sucrose. The syrup then enters the crystallization stage. Tiny sugar crystals are added as seed crystals, and the syrup is cooled gradually. As the temperature drops, sugar begins to solidify around these tiny crystals, forming larger sugar crystals. Next, a high-speed centrifuge separates the sugar crystals from the remaining syrup, known as molasses. This step determines whether the final product will become refined white sugar or brown sugar. The difference lies in how much molasses is retained. This is the first time that sugar takes on its familiar crystalline form. The extraction process produces far more than just sugar. Bagasse, the fibrous residue left behind after the cane has been crushed, is an incredibly valuable byproduct. Instead of being discarded, many factories reuse it as fuel. When burned in high-efficiency boilers, bagasse generates steam that powers the plant's turbines, producing electricity for the factory itself and, in some cases, supplying surplus power to the local electricity grid. But that's not all. Bagasse is also converted into raw material for manufacturing biodegradable products such as plates, cups, food containers, and even eco-friendly paper. Through specialized industrial processes, these plant fibers are molded, pressed, and transformed into sustainable alternatives to plastic. In addition, some bagasse is composted or used as livestock feed, as it still contains valuable fiber and nutritional properties. Making full use of every part of the sugar cane not only reduces waste but also makes the sugar industry one of the world's best examples of a circular economy. Nothing goes to waste. Sugar is just one of the many valuable products that sugar cane has to offer. Once the sugar crystals have been separated and dried, the next step is packaging them for distribution. The refined sugar passes through a hot air drying system that removes any remaining moisture, preventing lumps from forming and extending its shelf life. The sugar is then transported along enclosed conveyor belts to the packaging stations. On these fully automated production lines, precision weighing sensors ensure that every bag contains the exact amount of sugar. The sugar is packed into either plastic or paper bags, depending on its final destination, household consumption, industrial use, or export. Some factories are capable of packaging hundreds of bags every minute, all with minimal human intervention. Each package is hermetically sealed, labeled with traceability codes and expiry dates, and then stacked onto pallets or packed into cartons ready for distribution. From there, the sugar is shipped to supermarkets, bakeries, food manufacturers, and homes across the world. Although this final stage may seem routine, it is essential. It ensures that the sugar reaches consumers in perfect condition, ready to sweeten the daily lives of millions of people. From a stalk of sugarcane growing under the sun to the sugar that dissolves in your cup, we have followed an extraordinary journey of industrial transformation. Every stage of the process, harvesting, transportation, crushing, purification, music crystallization, and packaging, reflects decades of technological innovation and remarkable large-scale efficiency. But perhaps the most impressive achievement is not simply the enormous quantity of sugar produced. It is the way every part of the sugarcane plant is put to good use. Music making this industry a remarkable example of sustainability and the circular economy. Now you know that behind every spoonful of sugar lies a vast, complex, and highly precise system, designed to operate continuously 24 hours a day throughout the harvesting season. And you also know that sugar is far more than just an ingredient. It is the result of a production chain that brings together agriculture, science, and industry in pursuit of a single goal. So, the next time you sweeten your tea or coffee or enjoy your favorite dessert, you'll remember the fascinating process behind every crystal of sugar. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories about how the products and music we use every day are made. During the first few weeks, irrigation is absolutely critical. In arid regions, drip irrigation and sprinkler systems are used to control exactly how much water each plant receives. Too much water can cause the root to rot, while too little can prevent it from developing properly. Sugar beet is also highly vulnerable to weeds, which compete for nutrients, water, and growing space. That is why weed control is carried out with military-like precision. Some farmers use autonomous tractors equipped with cameras and artificial intelligence capable of distinguishing between crops and weeds, applying herbicides only where they are needed. Others rely on mechanical or even thermal weeding to reduce the use of chemicals. Over the following months, the crop is monitored continuously through growth analysis, disease detection, and even drones that assess the health of the fields from above. Every step has one goal: to ensure that every hectare delivers the highest possible yield. Then, after 6 to 8 months of growth, the fields are finally ready for harvest. A stage where heavy engineering and pinpoint precision come together to lift the reward of months of hard work from beneath the soil. Before I show you how these powerful industrial machines harvest thousands of tons of sugar beet from the ground, take just a second. If you're enjoying this journey into the world of modern agriculture, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating fascinating documentaries about the incredible world behind the food you eat every day. Now get ready, because what you're about to see is agricultural engineering at its absolute best. When harvest time finally arrives, the fields are transformed into a choreographed display of steel, power, and precision. There is no room for improvisation. Every stage is carefully designed to lift the sugar beet from the ground with maximum efficiency while causing as little damage as possible. Harvesting sugar beet is a remarkable mechanical operation. Instead of workers pulling roots from the soil by hand, enormous 6-row harvesters take over the job. These machines, which can cost well over $500,000, are equipped with advanced sensors, heavy-duty cutting blades, and GPS-guided automatic steering systems, allowing them to work day and night with millimeter-level accuracy. The process begins with a component known as the topper, which removes the beet leaves just above the crown. These leaves are never wasted. They are often returned to the fields as natural fertilizer or used as nutritious livestock feed. When harvest time finally arrives, the fields are transformed into a choreographed display of steel, power, and precision. There is no room for improvisation. Every stage is carefully designed to lift the sugar beet from the ground with maximum efficiency while causing as little damage as possible. Harvesting sugar beet is a remarkable mechanical operation. Instead of workers pulling roots from the soil by hand, enormous 6-row harvesters take over the job. These machines, which can cost well over $500,000, are equipped with advanced sensors, heavy-duty cutting blades, and GPS-guided automatic steering systems, allowing them to work day and night with millimeter-level accuracy. The process begins with a component known as the topper, which removes the beet leaves just above the crown. These leaves are never wasted. They are often returned to the fields as natural fertilizer or used as nutritious livestock feed. A single modern harvester can collect anywhere from 100 to 1,000 tons of sugar beet in a single day, depending on field conditions. That is equivalent to the work of dozens of people and enables a steady harvesting pace that meets the demands of the sugar industry. Meanwhile, tractors pulling synchronized transfer trailers travel alongside the harvester, collecting the freshly lifted sugar beet without interrupting the operation. This continuous workflow is essential because, once removed from the ground, sugar beet immediately begins to lose its sugar content if it is not processed quickly. In regions such as the American Midwest and Northern Europe, where autumn weather can become highly unpredictable, harvesting speed is everything. Every minute counts to prevent rain from ruining weeks of hard work. That is why many harvesting operations run around the clock, with powerful industrial LED floodlights illuminating the fields as though it were broad daylight. Despite all this advanced technology, constant human supervision is still essential. Operators monitor real-time displays to adjust cutting depth, harvesting speed, and detect any irregularities throughout the process. Within just a few days, hundreds of hectares are cleared, leaving behind deep furrows and vast piles of freshly harvested sugar beet, ready for the next major stage of the journey: transport to the processing plants. Once harvested, sugar beet cannot wait. Every hour matters if its sweetness is to be preserved and valuable sucrose losses are to be avoided. That is why transport to the processing plants begins immediately. Heavy-duty lorries arrive directly at the fields or nearby collection points, where transfer trailers unload enormous piles of freshly harvested roots. From there, the beet is quickly loaded onto specialized lorries or freight trains, depending on the local transport infrastructure. In countries such as Germany, Russia, and the United States, some growing regions even have dedicated railway networks linking the fields directly to the processing factories. The objective is simple: to deliver the sugar beet while it is as fresh as possible. A harvested root can lose up to 10% of its sugar content if it remains unprocessed for more than 48 hours. That is why processing plants operate at full capacity throughout the harvest season, running 24 hours a day. When the sugar beet arrives at the processing plant, it is unloaded into areas known as receiving yards. This marks the beginning of a new stage: cleaning, grading, and weighing. First, large conveyor belts carry the roots to the washing station. Powerful water jets, rotating drums, and heavy-duty screens remove soil, stones, and plant debris. The most advanced factories use optical sensors and 3D scanners to automatically grade the sugar beet according to size and quality. Roots that fail to meet the required standards are redirected for other purposes, such as livestock feed or biogas production. Once thoroughly cleaned, the sugar beet is transported to the slicing machines. There, enormous industrial blades cut the roots into thin strips known as cassettes, allowing the sugar-rich juice to be extracted far more efficiently. This juice will eventually become the sugar we all know, but several crucial stages still lie ahead before it is transformed into sparkling white crystals. What is truly remarkable is that nothing goes to waste. The remaining syrup is transformed into molasses. The filtered impurities are reused as fertilizer, while the solid beet pulp is used as livestock feed or converted into renewable energy. The sugar beet, that modest root hidden beneath the soil, is one of the great unsung heroes of modern agriculture. Behind every spoonful of sugar lies an extraordinary combination of science, technology, and dedicated teamwork. If you enjoyed this journey from the field to the packet of sugar, don't forget to leave a comment, give the video a like, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating documentaries about the world of modern agriculture. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.